Hey guys, Blake Calhoun, and today I'm looking at the new 2020 iPad Pro and just debating on whether the 12.9 inch is the right size for video editing. Some people think so and some people think not. Let's take a look. So I decided to pull the trigger on getting a new iPad Pro. I'd been thinking about it for a while and I thought, what better time than during a pandemic when I don't really have any extra money to buy a new device that I probably won't use that much. Well, that was the way I used to think. Well, actually, I still think that way to a degree, but not about using the iPad. I'm hoping I use it a lot more. And the reason I think I will is because I went with the new 12.9 inch iPad Pro. And so this is the 12.9 inch iPad Pro. And for comparison's sake, this is an iPhone 11 Pro Max. You can see, obviously, it's a huge difference. And I actually edit in LumaFusion on this iPhone periodically. Not a great experience. I mean, LumaFusion's great, but editing with such small screen real estate is not so great. And so the 12.9 I've discovered really makes me want to edit more. And let me show this. If you've watched many of my videos, you've probably seen me talk about this iPad. This is an iPad Air 2, and it is, I believe, 9.4 inch. And I have edited on this for a long time. I did a color correction course using LumaFusion called LumaFusion Color Grading 101. I did the whole course on this iPad. I did that for two reasons. One, I didn't have an iPad Pro and I wasn't ready to buy one. But more importantly, and this is kind of an overall point I want to make here, you don't have to buy the latest greatest to work with these tools, to work with LumaFusion or FiLMiC Pro or whatever. This iPad Air 2 works great for editing on LumaFusion. It plays back 4K files no problem. I've used it for years. I believe I bought this 5 years ago. But I edited this video last night. It's just a quick little tutorial I did on my Sony a6400 for a friend who's going to borrow it. He had never worked with this camera, and because of social distancing, I can't really go over it with him necessarily in person. I'm going to loan him the camera, and I made this tutorial. So I edited this in about an hour last night, and I have to say, working on this larger screen made it so much more fun, for lack of a better word. It just really made the experience much more like working on a computer. Now I've ordered the Magic Keyboard for this, and I've also got a stand. If you're just holding it in your lap, using it as a media player, or even editing with it, it's a little bit hard to hold. It is big, don't get me wrong, but it's not too bad if you put it down or if you hold it with two hands and then just use your finger. The Magic Keyboard setup, I think, is going to make it much more like a laptop experience, but even more compact and easier to carry and take with you on the go. And now if this has mouse support and more traditional keyboard support, it's going to make using this a lot easier. And for me, that's really the point. I want to have a situation where I can easily edit on the go. And then because of the XML export now with LumaFusion, I can take my rough cut, send it over to Final Cut Pro or DaVinci or even Adobe Premiere and do my finishing and polishing. Or for simpler projects, I could finish on LumaFusion. Now, I say simpler projects, you can do a lot in LumaFusion, don't get me wrong. But for me, doing mixing and titling and that kind of thing, I still like doing it on a traditional computer. But that's not to say over time I won't get used to doing it on my iPad. I did strongly consider the 11-inch version of this, and I got a lot of different input from people on Twitter and people who have used these for a while. And it seems like the consensus was, if you're going to be doing a lot of editing, go with the larger iPad. If you're going to be using your iPad more on the go for watching movies or doing more productivity kind of things, the smaller one is probably better for that. But I think for video editing, and that's the main reason I got this using LumaFusion, the 12.9 is really the way to go. So if you've been on the fence about getting one of these, I would really say that if you're going to be doing video editing in a mobile video environment like what I do, the larger screen is probably going to serve your needs better. And by the way, I'll do a follow-up video once I get the Magic Keyboard, and also to let you know whether I've been actually doing much editing on this or not. But yeah, I think the 12.9 is the way to go if you want to do video editing. It's not that much more expensive in the scheme of things, especially considering these last 3 to 5 years. I've had this one for going on 5 years, so I really do think it's a good investment. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.